So, how are things down east?
Oh, good. You mean in New Brunswick, or you mean musically?
Both, I guess.
Oh, New Brunswick's great.
Yeah.
Starting to get a little bit cold, which is good. It's been a warm November. I'm sure everywhere it has been. And how about out in Thunder Bay?
We've got some snow going on. We got a pretty wicked snowstorm last Friday, and a couple of smaller dumpings since then. So we're good for winter. I'm done with snow already. Only 8 more months of it here in Thunder Bay. So.
Oh man, well, geez, well, it's any consolation. It's friggin' cold in New Brunswick now. So.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, but no, things are good. Music's good. Got most of Thrawsunblat 2 done. Just kind of, we got all the bass, all the drums, all the guitars. Pretty much just the piano and vocals left to do, really.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty fun process. It's been great working with Siegfried and Ray and Brendan. So
now,
yeah.
Were you heading, like, were you going down to Southern Ontario to do the actual recording, or were you recording at home and sending it to Siegfried?
Yeah, that's the one. Recording at home and sending it to Siegfried, because when I was in studio with Siegfried there last summer, I learned a ton from him, and he gave me a lot of really good equipment recommendations and that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and so after that, I got good setup going, and yeah, so I've been sending him. All the drums were done in just outside of Boston,
right?
And then sent to Siegfried, and all the bass was done by Brendan just outside, I guess, Boston as well. Somewhere in Massachusetts. Never told me exactly where the studio was, but yeah, and then all sent to Siegfried, and then I got the guitars going here, sending those to Siegfried too. So it's a continental project.
Wow, that's very cool. Now, were you down with Ray and Brendan when they were recording, or did they sort of record their parts and then send it to you?
Yeah, that's actually what. Well, I guess they. I didn't actually go down there. I sent them demos from, I think, starting in May-ish, around there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I gave them some time to jam along with them and put their mark on it, and they would send me videos of their performances, and yeah, and then I was like, oh well, at 1 minute and 4 seconds, it'd be cool if you could do whatever or this or that, and for the most part, I think I might have given maybe four notes on the entire repertoire that they sent me back of their parts. So it was just fantastic.
Nice. And
then yeah, they just went ahead and recorded it all, and yeah, it's been quite painless, especially compared to how a project like that could go.
Absolutely, yeah. That's very cool. So obviously you picked the right people to work with.
Yeah, they're fantastic, both of them. So not only, that's the thing, is when you can find a fantastic musician, that's great. But when those fantastic musicians are also fantastic people, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So really lucked out with those two, so, and Siegfried too. So it was really a pleasure to work with all three of them.
That's fantastic. That's good to hear. It's nice when things work out.
Isn't it? Yeah, it makes you think that you've made a right choice along the way somewhere to get to that point.
Yeah, absolutely. To fund the album, you took kind of your own route, your own spin on a Kickstarter campaign, right?
Yeah, we did. That was all Ray's idea. She and I we got to chat a little bit when we were in Toronto for when we played the tribute show for David in St. Marie too as well.
Right.
And so we've been talking. Actually, I think that's right around then when I asked her if she wanted to do the drums. Yeah, after the shows. And so we yeah, we did lots of brainstorming, and Ray came up with the idea of doing a Kickstarter. And before, like, Ray is just a wizard with all that stuff. So she's amazing with that. She knows everything there. I'd never even heard of Kickstarter before she mentioned it.
Right.
Yeah, and so then we were getting ready to put it together, and for whatever reason, I required an American bank account to do the Kickstarter.
Of course.
And so we were just getting ready to launch it, and then I kind of hit that snag. And so we thought about it a little bit more, and then we just decided to basically, do our own, just follow the same format, but use PayPal as a medium instead,
right.
Which made it a bit easier. We came up with some incentives. Actually, well, I say we, but mostly Ray, and I threw a few ideas in there, and then we launched it, and it's much to, I was half expecting, with 2 or 3 days left in the campaign, to have to throw on $500 or $600 myself or something like that, but
right.
But after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we'd already made our goal, and ended up being about we set the goal as low as possible, really, just to kind of to make sure we made it.
Right.
And then we ended up going. Our goal was $2,850, and we made over 400. We made over 4,500.
Nice.
So it's great. So that $2,850 basically just paid studio costs.
Right.
So, and that's nothing to do with even the incentives that we were using.
Right.
I guess as incentives in the fundraiser or pressing. And so that was really, really excellent that we made that extra $1,700 because we were able to print the T-shirts that we were doing and get some sort of capital to get for the pressings.
Right.
So it was a really, really successful campaign, and everybody who donated, if any of them are listening to the results of this interview, a million thank yous to every single one of them. So we're really humbled by the support we got with that. So it's fantastic.
Absolutely. It's really great to hear when a band actually not only makes their goal but exceeds their goal. That's fantastic.
Mm.
And now with the talking about the pressing of the album, will you be doing just a strict CD format with the record?
To begin with, yeah.
Okay.
We'll be doing just regular old CDs, and obviously digital downloads too.
Right.
And we'll see how that goes, because that's what the budget has kind of allowed. But if it goes well and then we sell out of the print, then or even come close to it, then we'll definitely be looking at other mediums. I would love to have a vinyl pressing of either of the albums. So
absolutely.
Just it's different. It's great to have the different, almost take on the audio, because it's obviously different. Sounds way different out of the speakers, vinyl, etc. And
yes.
And also to have that, album art that's 4 times the size of a CD, so
yes,
it's great.
Sure. Who did the album art for the new record?
So, it was actually the same fellow that did the art for the first record. His name is Brett Goodchild, and he's based in Winnipeg. He's actually the guy who did the logo as well a few years ago. And so, yeah, it's pretty much the same story with the first album art. So the album art for the first one, I gave him a portion of a painting I really liked, and got him to tint it to kind of suit the color scheme that I was going for. He did a fantastic job. And then the second album here, a friend of mine, it's actually a picture a friend of mine took from on top of the Mount Carlton, which is the highest point in New Brunswick.
Oh, okay.
And the reason, and Brett, we got Brett to do some, fantastic coloring on that, which I had an idea. I was like, all right, Brett, kind of make it give it a bit of a texture and kind of make it more greens, etc. than kind of sky blue, etc. And in my brain, it was gonna look pretty good, whatever sort of image I had of it. And then he gave me back this amazing thing that just blew my mind. It's beyond anything I could have even described for him to do. So I was really happy with that. And the reason we chose Mount Carlton was because there's a song on the album that's going to be called "View of a Million Trees," and that actually came from a conversation that David Gold and I were having when we were driving from Fredericton to Halifax on one of our tours in 2011. And so I was talking about how in the pamphlet for Mount Carlton, we were just talking about, I guess, New Brunswick. I was kind of giving David and the Madden brothers sort of a little tour of New Brunswick, giving them some tour guides stuff while we were driving through. And I guess anyway, on the brochure from Mount Carlton, it said that from the top of Mount Carlton you can see apparently 10 million trees, which is pretty. So I told David that, and he was like, "Man, that'd be an awesome song title, View of a Million Trees." And so I was like, "Holy shit, yeah, man, that's awesome." So I made a note of it, and ended up turning it into a song. And through lots of different angles, Mount Carlton and a Million Trees is a big thematic point on the album.
Right.
So I was really stoked to be able to turn it into an album cover, especially when it looks that I'm so pleased with.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, that artwork would definitely look fantastic 4 times the size of it looks fantastic just seeing it on Facebook and stuff, but I could only imagine how amazing it would look 4 times the size.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, geez, I hope to be able to show you that at some point. Then get that vinyl out.
Absolutely. Has there been any talk or any interest from any sort of label with regards to Thrawsunblat?
Well, that's the thing is I kind of just been really David was amazing at with the business side of things, and I'm quite good at I enjoy more the music side of things. So I've been really concentrating on writing the album, and so I guess I haven't really even just the way it kind of ended up working out. Going to be able to do it on our own. So from my experience with with Thrawsunblat 1 and with Lids, etc. That's if you can do it on your own, then at this stage in the game, then do it. So and so that's kind of hadn't really thrown any feelers, but if any record labels are listening to this, please feel free to drop me a line at thrawsunblat@gmail. So
come knocking on your door.
Yeah.
I saw that you had posted on the 16th that kind of the sneak peek for the unmixed track or the rough mix of the track, that sort of thing. What are you thinking is going to be an actual release date for the album?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Looking at first quarter 2013 is kind of the hopeful release date. So looking at you like to give the earliest possible you can kind of do, but the way things work, is you always gotta add a couple of weeks or a month, kind of like a 30% sort of leeway for things to go wrong. So it's something by February 2013.
Awesome.
Yeah, but there'll be lots more samples for sure, and once we start getting into the actual mixing process, then there'll be lots more to post online.
Awesome. That's very cool. And for people who are listening who maybe haven't seen the page, what's the best place for people to go and get in touch with you and get in touch and maybe hear some of the samples that you're putting up?
Oh, well, definitely the Thrawsunblat Facebook page is kind of our hub at the moment. And yeah, she should be able to. Most people seem to be on Thrawsunblat on Facebook at the moment. So yeah, you can use to search it, and it should be there. If you're not, then Twitter, I usually post links to the videos that come up. So my Twitter is at Beware the Joel. So you can check that out there. And also, I guess I'll just register Thrawsunblat.com, and that's the place I'll be posting definitely the lyrics for like this is the official spot to find the lyrics for the first album. But also, I suppose, just thinking now, it might be a good place to start posting the big news events. So maybe check there too.
Perfect. And I'll link to all of that stuff on the playlist for the show and that sort of thing. So people who maybe didn't have a pen handy can go and find that as well.
Fantastic.
Now, on a different note, with regards to your musical endeavors, it seems like the final Woods album is ending up on a lot of best ofs year-end lists this year. Is it have you seen a lot of that sort of stuff, or have you been pretty Thrawsunblat centric for the last little while?
I've definitely been very Thrawsunblat centric for the last little while, and I haven't really had a chance to surf, much at all for anything really, let alone Wood stuff. But I saw one post the other day about Wood's 5 being on a top 10 of 2012 list, and I was just really humbled and really pleased to see that. And so if you say that there's more than one list that's saying that, then that's just awesome news, and really I don't know what the word is, just makes you feel really good, especially being part of that album, but also that Woods is able to sort of the sort of entity that is Woods is, I guess, ending on a high note, which is really good to see too, because that was David's sort of legacy.
Yes.
So it's really good to see it getting the publicity and positive criticism that it's kind of deserved over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't spoken since. We actually spoke just before the tribute shows. How did the tribute shows go?
Oh, they were fantastic. It was just an amazing turnout, and just sort of so many people from so many who knew David from so many different aspects or facets of his life. So it was just a fantastic sort of. It was almost like, I don't know how to put it, but just you spend a week with all sorts of people who you become really close to them in such a short amount of time, and you just the shows went really well, and just there's such great atmosphere that and everyone who performed their faces off and their hearts out, and so it was just, I don't think they could have gone better. Awesome.
That's very, very cool. And at the same time that was happening, the groundwork for this new record was laid too.
It's true. Yeah, it was. That's a byproduct out of the whole thing that was really unexpected, and just really another one of those things that kind of work out well that make you think that you made a pretty good choice along the way somewhere. So.
Absolutely. And Ray is actually now drumming for Mares of Thrace as well.
Yeah, that's she was really excited about that. So she's made lots of great contacts through. I mean, she I was going to say through the whole Woods connections, but she was making them long before she joined Woods as well. She's a fantastic drummer and just a great sort of person to deal with and to be around.
Yeah. That's very cool. So, and she's bucking on becoming an honorary Canadian, I think, with hooking up with all these Canadian bands.
It's funny you mention that, 'cause we were making all sorts of jokes about that on the when we were hanging out during that tribute show week, and it was great because we were talking about that a little bit, and then we were in Toronto, and we were walking around downtown by near the Rogers Centre, etc. And she talked about how much she loved Canada, etc. And so I was like, well, so I'll go. I'll meet you by that big old thing, in a few minutes. And she's like, what do you mean, what big old thing? I was like, right, like look. And I was pointing at the CN Tower, and she goes, oh, what is that? I was like, I couldn't talk to her for about a minute, and I was just, right, if you want to be an honorary Canadian, that's probably the first thing you need to know. But she learned right there, and so I think she's one step closer to becoming an honorary Canadian. So.
Perfect. And now, did anybody take you guys up on her firstborn child as part of the fundraiser?
Well, someone did actually donate to that level, and I'm not sure if they're going to hold Ray to that or not. But I guess it's I'm not sure how legally binding it is. But that guy's getting my guitar as promised.
Yeah.
But Ray's firstborn child. Well, I guess we'll see how it turns out. And I don't know how long the clause will hold out, but he's probably got a couple of years to decide. Who knows?
I would imagine, yeah. Well, Joel, it's so great to talk to you again, and it's so great to hear that things are going so well for you with Thrawsunblat, and I'm really looking forward to hearing some new music from you in 2013. Awesome,
yeah, I'm really excited to get it out to everyone. Everyone's been so supportive of the whole thing. I just, there's so much music just sitting there. Just want everybody to hear it, and so can't wait to get it out to everyone. So yeah, so thank you so much for for the phone call and the interview.
No problem. Anytime.
I'll let you know as soon as I get some stuff back. So
awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. And once the album's ready to go, we'll talk again.
Sounds real good.